Kaidon, CJ, thank you guys for joining us on the podcast today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having us.
Man, this is a blast just having you guys, and I know you have incredibly busy schedules. You got lives, you got a lot of practice and prep coming on right now, but I'm grateful that you guys took the time to spend it here with us. As we begin, before we dive into a great conversation that we're going to have today, I wanted to congratulate you from myself, from all of our staff here, all the listeners and viewers on just an unforgettable season. 13-0, Conference USA champions, Fiesta Bowl berth. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for the Liberty University Flames. It's big time. But before we dive in, I want to ask you this question, CJ. There was a lot of anticipation kind of leading up to the big bowl selection show. You had a lot of people saying, well, they're going to take Liberty, who's undefeated, but then there was a lot of other people saying, well, SMU just knocked off Tulane. What was the anticipation like leading up to that selection moment? But also, what was the wave of emotion that came over you when you saw Liberty pop up on the screen?
First and foremost, I'm a biased guy, so I like my guys over anybody else in the country. So
That's right.
I was just praying and hoping that we got a chance to show our true talent on the showcase as big as the New Year's Six game. And when our name came up on the screen, when Liberty popped up on the screen, it was just surreal. Like I don't know, as a kid, just growing up, we in the house every year during the New Year's watching New Year's Six games, and it's just a blessing that my family and all these other players' families get to travel to Arizona and play in the Fiesta Bowl. It's a blessing, man.
It's amazing.
It's a huge blessing.
Dude, I can't imagine. I saw the videos all over social media, you guys going nuts, hugging each other, high-fiving. But then I know the mindset, right, was just shifted to where it's like, hey, it ain't finished yet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There's still work to be done. Oregon rolling in at number 8. A lot of people probably counting you out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kaidon, for you, QB1, a guy that, in a sense, is the leader of the team, especially from the offensive standpoint. I mean, the ball rests in your hands every snap. What's it like as you prepare for such a big moment? Biggest game in Liberty program history. What's that like for you personally?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's going to be a lot more to do, but we just going to, me personally, I'm just going to prepare the same, just going out there and just knowing what I'm supposed to do every play, just going out there and executing, knowing that the coach is going to put us in the right position and go execute the play and the game plan. With our offense, it's so explosive and numbers don't lie. So I hope they know that and understand that on their defense going to have to come with it just like our offense going to come with it.
That's right. And that's the mindset. That's the confidence. This, in a sense, chip on your shoulder and swagger that I would pray that you guys go into a game like this with. You know what I mean? Because I believe y'all belong with anybody in the country. And I can't wait to watch you guys just compete at this level, which is so deserving. One thing I know about you guys and just Coach Chadwell, right, is the leader that he is. I was able to connect with him pretty early on when he came here to the Mountain. We invited him to our Ignite Men's Impact Weekend back in March. I interviewed him live from stage in front of thousands of dudes, and I'm asking him, what's the mantra? What's the motto for the team? What is it that you want these guys to stand on? Right. And you guys know this. One word came to his mind, embrace. CJ, what does that word mean to you, and what have you learned just even from Coach Chadwell's leadership of what it means to embrace every season of life?
Embrace for me means, just being open to anything that's thrown at you. We made a saying for the team called STS, Strike the Stone, and I think that just goes hand in hand with embrace. Just take on any aspect, whether it's failure, whether it's defeat. Just bounce back from it, and he always tells us don't blink. So play the next play. Just being open to anything.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love that. Embrace whatever gets thrown your way.
Right.
I got to ask you guys this, too, because it looks like you guys have so much fun. Oh, yeah. Like, you guys have your little post-game rituals and your little silly things that Coach Chadwell does where he's clapping, right? And you guys do your little motto, whatever it is. What's it like to have that type of fun within a locker room setting, Kaidon?
Yeah, just having fun comes with winning, and when you winning, you're going to have fun.
That's true.
Just going out there and just expecting to win and knowing that after we finna have fun and repeat the whole thing starting from scratch on Monday. Just knowing that on Monday we're practicing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to come out with a victory on top for Saturday to have fun. And when you go out there on that Saturday, just having fun is the most important part of winning and the game of football, just having fun. It's a game at the end of the day. And
Come on.
that's a lot of things that people don't understand about the sport. Like, it's a whole lot of blood, sweat, tears, feelings, emotions that goes into it. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. Somebody gonna win, somebody gonna lose, and us gladly we was able to come out on the winning side, 13 games in a row, and have fun while doing it. So that was just a very big blessing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be, right? Like you just said, that perspective of keeping it fun. I always say football, it's a great game, but it's a terrible God.
Right.
You know what I mean? It can't define you. We can't let our performance be our identity. And I feel like you guys have gone out there and you've shown the country what it looks like to have fun both on and off the field.
Right.
It's been refreshing. Beyond that word embrace, though, I know you guys also have a couple of other pillars that he even has posted in the meeting room, right? Competition, discipline, accountability, and purpose. Discipline is the one that really has always stood out to me the most. John Gordon, a good friend of mine, motivational speaker, we're going into a new year. A lot of people make resolutions, but John always says, forget the resolutions, right? 90% of people don't keep them anyways. 50% miss our resolution by the end of January in the first place. What he always says is this: choose one word, reflect on it, and try to live by it every day. My word in 2023 was discipline. What it taught me truly was that desire is truly, it doesn't really matter. It's not a factor of actually doing something. It's not a requirement of doing. Discipline. Kaidon, for you, there's a lot of young athletes, a lot of parents, a lot of coaches that watch the show. What would you say to the young athlete out there about how much hard work and sacrifice and suffering and dedication and discipline it's taken you to get to a point like this for a big game coming up?
Yeah, I mean, just the work that we put in, I mean, it's just so much that, and it's so much nothing that I would regret neither. Just it got me to where I am at today, and just starting from 4 years old to the time I first started playing football, 4 years old, to now at the age of 20, just knowing like being disciplined is just knowing like coach tell you touch the line and run back 5 yards. You got to touch that line and run back 6 yards.
That's right.
So just being disciplined, that takes you a long way. And just the obstacle in the course that I've been on, the long road that I've been on, being disciplined was something that I most definitely did have to work on at a young age to get me to where I'm at now. And being disciplined, it takes you way longer than just sports and football. Being disciplined is something that you have to do in life. And just being disciplined will show you how much of a good person you are.
Well, I'm grateful that you've allowed people to pour into you, you know what I mean, and invest in your life. Yes, and even you being vulnerable and saying that discipline's something you had to work on. We all have to work on it, right? But we have to allow people to sharpen us in that manner too. Like you mentioned, I've heard this quote, there's two types of losers in this world: those who can't do what they're told and those who can only do what they're told. Going the extra mile. Going 6 yards instead of 5, right? That's discipline, like you're saying. CJ, for you, discipline. You talk about, right, he got started playing football at 4 years old. Right. When was it for you that the first pigskin was put in your hands and you fell in love with the game?
Around 4 as well. I think I was 4 years old playing up, so I don't think they had a 4-year-old team at the time, but I was playing up with the 5-year-olds. And, you know, I touched the pill, man, and I just got loose. So my pops was like, this will probably be a good fit for you, man.
That's fun, dude. I love the game. It's always been something. I played in high school at LCA, competed. I was the quarterback, right? So we had the opportunity of winning some state championships, had a lot of fun, but it's a brotherhood at the end of the day. It really is. I want to go into this aspect here for a second, too. Football, sports, life, right? You talk about competing. A lot of it's physical, but the great ones, they understand there's a battle within the mind. It's a lot of it's mental, and you got to win that mental battle if you ever want to be great. For you guys, I'm interested. I'll start with you this time, CJ. What's your mindset as you approach every game?
You know, my mindset, it's really a mentality for me. Just growing up, my dad always been on me, just telling me you got to have that dog in you. And I think that just kind of related to my mentality this year, you know, just going out there with a chip on my shoulder. Even though we victorious, you still got to go out there and play with a chip on your shoulder. And I think that was the biggest thing for me that really like separated myself from these last few years of my college career, man. Just going out there with a chip on my shoulder, you know. Like I'm going out there, the man in front of me, he's not gonna stop me.
That's right.
Like every play, and it has to be consistent, because if you be consistent with your mindset, that just relates to every aspect. And I had a coach tell me before, it starts with the mental.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't got your mental right, you're not gonna be able to do the physical. So I think all those just correlates. But definitely, you got to have that mindset of every day just coming out and trying to be a better version of you, not really worried about the man in front of you, even though you're trying to dominate. But it starts with you in that mindset.
I hope we got some young athletes listening to that. That's some truth right there, brother. How about for you, Kaidon? What's your mindset?
Yeah, just my mindset is just go out and have fun. That's just how I've been since growing up. My mom started out with calling it the playground. The football field is the playground for me. So I just like to go out and have fun. I like to go out and do what I'm supposed to do and not worry about nobody else. Expect my brothers to do what they're supposed to do. And that's why I feel like this season that we had, it clicked so good because majority of the games, everybody went out and we did what we were supposed to do. The execution for practices from January when we first got a new coach, having to put in an install, all these new installs with 30 different plays every day from install 1 with 30 plays, install 2, which was the next day with adding 25 more plays on top. Just knowing that, doing what you're supposed to do and expecting your brothers and knowing that your brother's going to go out and do it too. That's what comes with have fun. You can't have fun if you're out there thinking too much and doing this and doing that, worried about the next person. Having fun is just going out there knowing what you're supposed to do, not thinking too much. So I just like to go out, have fun, do what I'm supposed to do, nothing more, nothing less.
That's it, man. You both gave great kind of perspectives. One is about making sure you're putting in the work, the preparation. It does take hard work. It does take investment. But the other one, like you're saying, Kaidon, is that it also needs to be fun. If it's not fun, then, man, it maybe isn't for you. Just the truth behind it, especially in sports. Inky Johnson, something I've shared with you guys in the past, right? It's one of my favorite quotes by him. He says, especially in big games, big moments, like going into an Oregon type of situation, you never rise to the occasion. You always revert back to your level of training. Exactly. That's what you guys are talking about in terms of discipline and in terms of mindset. But one thing, as we kind of shift the conversation here for a second, you guys, the season hasn't always been sunshine and rainbows. Right. Yeah. You guys have had to endure some deep and dark and murky waters alongside of each other. I'm grateful you have the mindsets and the mental toughness and fortitude that you do because, 3-4 weeks before the season started, the nation kind of was able to see it too, but you guys had a teammate, a friend, a brother in Taj Boyd who went home to be with the Lord. And that was a tragedy. I remember being in the FOC's team meeting room for that first Sunday chapel right after the tragedy occurred. And there was almost like an open mic moment where you guys were able to get up and just share some thoughts that were on your mind, just heartfelt, vulnerable. And I'll never forget, man, it was like an experience standing in that back and just watching and feeling the presence like of the Lord, the Holy Spirit in that place as you guys were just together. But beyond that, there was a sense of not just vulnerability again, but there was a sense of togetherness. Yep. CJ, for you, how have you guys been able to overcome tragedy and also not just go through it, but grow through it together?
I think for us as a whole, I think this year we were already becoming tight with all the team bonding and all the other events we did as a team. I think we were already we're getting there. And when we lost Taj, it just hit different. Our brother wasn't gonna be able to be there again. We couldn't play with him. We couldn't have fun. We couldn't joke with him. The only thing we could do was play for him. So we took that in as a team, and I think just us going through that tragedy helped us just become tighter, not even just on the field, off the field as well. And I definitely think that played a big part of why we were so victorious. We just had something to play for every game.
Man, that's a word right there. Like you said, the brokenness maybe came from that you couldn't play with him, right, but the togetherness came from you all knew that you could play for him. Right. Kaidon, I was there at the conference championship game when you guys hoisted the trophy. I wasn't on the field with the thousands of other fans, right? But I was up in the suite and I was watching down, celebrating, hooting and hollering. But in your post-game interview, they asked you just about the season, just to recollect on it. You're holding the trophy. There's a lot of things that you could have said. but you said this one's for Taj.
Most definitely.
As CJ's saying, you guys have played for him all year. What has it meant to have an added sense of meaning and of purpose to play with Taj, especially going into New Year's Six Bowl with him at the forefront of your mind?
Yeah, just playing for Taj is just very, very important for us, just for him and his family. Taj was a young guy too. I mean, I'm a young guy, but Taj was a younger guy.
Yeah.
And just the way everything just happened and so quickly it was just very unexpected at the time. Like we literally, just got out of practice or workouts or something.
Yeah.
It just happened. Nobody knew. So ever since that day, man, it just clicked to us, not to just me, just to the team. Like we gotta be together. We gotta move as one, stick as one. Like he said, just not just in the locker room and on the field, outside the facility. Everybody sticking together, checking on each other. Let me come over, play the game with you. This, that, just the bond that we built. It became even more stronger after the passing of Taj. But coming up with this game, just knowing that we got more work to do, which is for Taj, and just wishing that he was here with us. We can't do nothing but go out there and play for him. We know that he's not here with us like now, but he'll be watching us, and we know that we have a lot to fight for out there for him, and we know him and his family will be watching us. And after this game, it still be for Taj, win or lose, and we know that we did everything we could for this season for him and his family. That's it. Just gonna make sure that we do everything that we can for him and his family.
Let me tell you guys this, being somebody that's come and spoken to you guys several times over the year and just watched you guys grow as a team, but also just as men, as individuals. I'm proud of you dudes and the outlook you have on that situation and the way that you both have truly grown. Hearing your perspectives vulnerably, I know how hard that was for you guys and your team. And I can only imagine, because that truly was a brother, right? But to hear, like you guys said, that what you're doing, the words that you're sharing, the things, right, that you're doing, the way that you're playing is so honoring of him. And in a sense, you are providing and making sure and solidifying that his legacy far outlives him. So I'm proud of you guys for that. I just wanted to say that up front. Now, it's evident you guys have a connection. You guys are just like friends. You told me pre-hand, right? You guys are roommates, but also it's evident on the field. How has your connection off the field kind of fueled this sense of trust on the field, would you say, CJ?
It's just the small details, man. Going to practice every day and just coming with the right mindset. I got to come with the mindset that I'm going to make a play for 7 every time the ball's in the air. That's just my mindset. So, that's giving him the outlook that, just put it anywhere by me. You can trust me.
Yeah.
And, off the field as well, I think this definitely plays a big part. Just us just hanging around at the house, cooling, just talk about things. I think that definitely plays a part, because I feel like, on the field, off the field, we're cool, but I feel like when we get on the field, we both just put on like a Terminator mask, and we just locked in, loaded, ready to go. So I think those off the field things definitely made our bond grow stronger as teammates, and I think the connection just came from that.
That's fun, man. Kaidon, for you, like I said, I played quarterback in my past. I know what it's like to have a weapon in my back pocket, to where, coaches, they'll make the play calls, you do your reads, your progressions, but to know when in doubt and there's a must kind of win or a must play, I know where I'm going with the ball. And there you got 4 in your back pocket. What's that like for you?
Yeah, it's just a great feeling knowing that I got a receiver that can go and get it. Open or not, just knowing that I got a receiver that I could trust to throw the ball up and go get it. Just being able to sit back there and drop back, watch everybody work through their routes and do all of that. But if I know I got a one-on-one coverage over here, why am I looking over here when you got 4 over here in a one-on-one coverage? Like, come on now.
I hear that.
Just knowing that I got him over there is very, very blessing for me as a quarterback. Then, of course, he making plays. So, if you see a person making plays every day at practice, because what he does is not only something that happens in a game, he does that 10 times more at practice following up to that game. So it's like it just all clicks for us. And I don't know when it happened, how it happened, but it happened, and that's all God.
That's all God. I'm grateful that you guys have that click because you're fun to watch, man. You guys are that duo. And what's with this celebration? I got to ask.
It's just a little high school thing that I grew up
strumming
doing.
it.
Just rocking out, you know.
Rocking out.
Just rocking out with the guitar.
That's fun.
It was a little high school celebration I pulled out.
I love it.
Yeah.
I got just a couple more questions for you guys. You know, getting back to the big Oregon game, because there's going to be a lot of listeners and viewers that are wanting to hear, right, from two superstars. Man, Fiesta Bowl, it's all the excitement. But like I mentioned, a lot of people maybe already counting you guys out. A lot of people saying, oh, this is a David versus Goliath situation. And from an outsider, right's perspective, someone that loves the university, loves watching you guys compete, right, I don't feel like they're right in that manner. I think you guys belong, like I mentioned at the beginning, with anybody in the country. But also, I'm like, you know what? That's great. Let it be a David versus Goliath situation, because I don't think David went into battle in the first place in 1 Samuel 17 thinking, I'm just some lowly shepherd boy. Yeah. He went into battle saying, nah, I'm a warrior. I've already killed lions and bears with my bare hands. I got the confidence of the Lord on my side, so I'm going into this game understanding that I'm going to take you out. And that was the mentality. That was the chip on the shoulder, regardless of the result. Right. You got to go in with belief and confidence. For you guys, what's the belief and what's the confidence level as you just go into a big game like this, CJ?
I think we're definitely at our peak right now. Yeah. I don't think going into this game we're going to change anything different except the scheme.
That's right.
So, you know, for us, you know, them boys still got to come play us at the end of the day.
That's right.
But, you know, we going in, you know, we just ready to compete, man. We ready to show the world, man, what Liberty's about, man. And, you know, our back against the wall, and I love it. Like, I love being the underdog. We wasn't the underdog all year, and we the underdog by a lot to a little. But, you know, it's just a blessing to be able to be on this stage. But I don't think the mindset or anything else is going to change going into this game. It's just a scheme. You know, it's just going to be on us to go out and execute that. So, yes,
I like that.
Yeah, kind of like he said, nothing's changing but the scheme.
Yep.
I mean, nothing at all is changing but the scheme and the defense that we're playing, the people, that changes every week. It's football, so like gotta go out and scheme and execute the plays that we do. It ain't nothing finna change. We gonna go out and we gonna be the same Liberty offense that we've been all year, explosive, making plays, and running the ball down their throat like we do. So
that's it.
Just as long as we keep on practicing and executing the way that we've been doing, I got Flames coming out on top. So
come on,
that's it.
Right,
come on, because it doesn't matter who you play.
At all.
Doesn't matter the color of their jersey, the size of their school. It's that Michael Jordan quote, right? Every single day I demand more from myself than anyone else could possibly expect of me. I don't compete with other people. I compete with what I'm capable of. Exactly. You guys go out and do your thing. Same field size, same referees, same play calls, same penalties, same snaps. But it's all about just executing. Right. Yep. That's what it all comes down to. Yes, fellas, as we close and wrap up this conversation, us here at the Built Different podcast, we believe that Christ is who he says he is, right? That our faith is what matters most in this life. As I mentioned, football, it's a great game, but it really is a terrible God. Yeah. As we wrap up, I want to ask you, I'll start with you, Kate, and I'll let you finish this off. CJ, what does it mean to play with God at the forefront of all that you do, and how has your faith helped you, not just in the hills and valleys of the season, but throughout your life to this point?
It helps me extremely, just knowing that he's there with me every step, every drop back, every pass, every mistake, every touchdown. Just knowing that he's with me at all times most definitely helps me out a lot. Just knowing that if nobody got my back, he does, and that's all that matters. So, I mean, it's words that you can't even explain, knowing that you're going out there playing with God watching you and on your back at every snap, every play, just going out there having fun, and all glory to him. And I wouldn't be able to do it without him. So it's just a very big blessing.
Amen, brother. Amen. How about you, CJ?
For me, I think my faith has definitely grown over these last couple of years of me just being at Liberty. I've been through a couple things. I tore my ACL last year, so I was kind of out for the count last year. But I think God already scripted it out for me. And first 2 years I had a pretty good 2 years, and then came back and got injured, and it was why? And I wouldn't want it any other way. I think God made this plan for a reason, because I was able to come back stronger. I was able to come back faster, and it just came back with a different mindset every day with that chip on my shoulder. So just me believing in God and keeping that faith through this whole time, through hard times, ups and downs. He's definitely been the one I can lean on. So definitely, my faith has definitely grown over these past couple of years.
Appreciate you both sharing that, because it truly is the most important thing. It's where our hope comes from. Right. Like you said, because he's gifted you guys with the opportunity and the talents to play the game of football, then what you do with those gifts and talents are your gift right on back to him. What Steph Curry say? In Jesus' name, I play. Yes, right? Sir. I appreciate you guys continuing to do that each and every day you're on the field, every opportunity. Keep being a light, keep being salt, right? Keep doing things for people each and every day that will point them back to our ultimate source of hope, peace, and power. Fellas, best of luck come New Year's Day. Yes, I'm rooting for you. I'm pulling for you. I'm praying for you. And as Coach Chad will always say, flames.
Flames. Yes,
let's roll.
Thank you.